Welcome everyone to our advanced Excel session. In this session, we're going to see how to interpret and how to represent the pivot table. Pivot table is a very useful tool for so many reasons, and this one is work like a small software. If you company have a lot of data that have to analyze weekly basis, daily basis, or monthly basis, pivot table is a very useful tool that you can do without using any type of software. So let's have a look how we can analyze data on pivot table. To represent your data in pivot table, the first thing you have to do, you have to select the range. You can select the whole range, and after that you go to the insert tab. Once you go to the insert tab, you'll see there is a pivot table and there is a recommended pivot table. We always recommend to choose that. Once you click the recommended pivot table, it will give you some template that will be more useful based on your requirement. Of course, you can always change later on, but it's better to use the recommended pivot table. So once you're happy with that, you can choose the pivot table in the same Excel sheet, or you can create in a different Excel sheet. So in this case, we'll choose the new Excel sheet, and the pivot table is created on the new Excel sheet. Now you can see we have some department and we have some payment for the department with the employee name. So if you remember this data sheet, we can see here we have some department. It could be anything for you. We have some employee and we have some payment for them. Now from here we can see basically how many employee work for which department. So there's a lot of department here and there's a lot of employee. So if I want to summarize, like how much is the cost for which department? For example, if you have a sports department, if you have a economics department, if you have an accounts department, if you try to analyze the payment or any type of data like which department spending how much money, which department earning how much money, you can use these tools. It's very useful. Once you have this information, on the right corner you will see the small table will be open and there will be four boxes. In this four box is very useful. You can use based on your requirement. So you can tick here. As soon as you tick, the more information will be available. Now we can see under the admission we have 3 people. Under the English we have 6 people, and if we want to count these people we can do that. For example, from here it says the total amount, how much is paid to English. This is the amount how much is paid to admission. This is the amount how much is paid to the maths. This is the amount how much is paid to exam. This is the amount. So easily I can see, doesn't matter how many people is involved, that will give me the total. If I want to see how many people is involved in which department, I can change it. So on the value section, if I click and if I open value field setting, and from here I can choose anything. I can choose the count, average, max, mean. I can choose anything that will give me the result. For example, if I choose count and click OK, that will tell us how many people on that mission. So we can see on that mission we have 3 people, for the English 7 people. So we can represent or we can calculate the data based on our requirement. So we can go back again, we can change it, whatever is our requirement. If we want the amount, we always select the sum. This is the most useful one and common one for the pivot table, to use the sum. After that, we can move the data based on our requirement. For example, if I want the column other side, on the name, so I can take the name on the column. So you can see based on the department, the name will be on the column. If I want the name under the heading of department, it will show the name under the department. If I want the name first, then the department, I can do that as well. So it will show me like that. If I want filter, I can do the way I want. So I can do filter only, it will tell me the total amount. So you can see the pivot table is a very powerful tool. It's like a software to analyze your data. So any type of data you have, you can always play with that and you can get whatever you need from this table. For example, especially if you do income and expense analysis for the week, from this table you can see income is coming from which sector. For example, rent, you have a sale, so you can categorize how many sales is there, how many items is there, what is the total sales, amount of transaction, everything you can do by using these pivot table tools.